Hello, everybody. Welcome to the House of Flux. I'm Flux. We're going to be talking about evidence. Welcome to my channel. I cover everything that I want to cover and anything that I want to cover. And I learned I need to be closer to my mic because that's why I keep getting the echoey sound. So, am I too washed out? I'm trying to get the lighting right, and I feel like I'm washed out. Maybe not. Well, anyways, guys, how's everybody doing tonight? I see we have Rick Nikita and Glitter Fart here. Appreciate you guys. Everybody else just lurking and coming on in. Don't forget to hit that like button on your way in or on your way out. You might not like this stream, so maybe on your way out, hit that like button if you will. If you like it. We're going to be talking about evidence. I looked high and low. I've been looking for probably the past 2 hours, trying to find all of my school stuff. But I realized I went to school 8 years ago. Like, I didn't realize it's been 8 years since I went to college, which then made me think about high school, and that depressed me a little bit. So then I stopped thinking about. I just finished watching Judge Manning's TPO hearings. Let's go foreskins. Oh wait, I mean forensics. Lol, Freudian slip much? I love Alex Manning. Judge, the Honorable Judge Alex Manning is amazing. She's like just a bad mother effer judge. I very much enjoy listening to her rulings and her being on cases and whatnot. What's up, Lady Autumn Sky in the house? But anyway, so I looked for about 2 hours. I could not find really any of my school stuff, which was really depressing because that was hours and hours and years of studying. But I did find, however, I found a few of my like crime scene processes, and I'm like, this is perfect because it's my I found my final crime scene analysis or my final crime scene investigation from when I finished my degree. So I have my presentation from my final crime scene, and I figure we can talk a bit about all of just like the details of it, because when we're watching the trials and whatnot, we don't actually get to see. Why does my camera, is it because of like it can't find my face? Am I that white? I know I haven't been in the sun for a minute, but good Lord. But I definitely, forensics was my favorite. I very much enjoyed. Oh, it's because I keep moving. I move way too much. I'm forward. I'm backwards. I move way too much, and this camera is way too sensitive. I'm gonna have to. Oh my god. Does that bother you guys when it does that? It bothers me. And I'm not even looking at it half the time. But no, today, well, we watch all these trials and we don't really get to see much of the evidence. And as we were watching the Murdoch trial today, and I mean, I know a lot of you were there, but for those of you who weren't, they were in court and they were talking about the bullet trajectory. And they kept talking about degrees and how the degrees were different. And a lot of the chat, not knowing forensics, just being casual watchers. Is that better? I think it's the light that's messing with the camera. We're really gonna wash out here. How's that? But yeah, yeah, it's trying to stay focused. Oh, it's focusing on the globe. Maybe I should cover the globe? Or maybe it's because it's a light. Let's see if I do this. I'll turn this light back down. And I'll try and... I'm just going to go back to my... Yeah, it's Steve's fault. It's Steve's fault the camera won't focus. Come on, Steve. Get it together. I'm going to go back to my old camera because while this is a nice camera, I don't like the constant autofocus. Oh, what's up, Steve? Gosney's in the house. See, okay, Steve, if I were to send you a link, I'm like, I want to get your opinions, because I know that you, for, you know, with blood spatter and whatnot, you know. It is fun. It is fun. But I know with blood spatter especially, we have some disagreements. But that's okay. Disagreements are the greatest. So basically, oh, I'm going to send Steve a linky. Hang on, Steve. We're going to do this. Because I really, like, you know a lot more than I do, at least when it comes to trial and whatnot. Hold on, I can do several. Well, I used to be able to do a lot of things at once, and now I can't. I'm getting old, people. Apparently, I'm 31. I thought I was 30, but apparently I'm 31, and I'm turning 32 this year. So that was a surprise to me. I'm just old. Let's see. Steve? Sorry, I can talk and type at the same time. That's a thing. As I'm ignoring all of chat. Okay. So when they were talking about Bullock, oh, see, yeah, I got you, Steve. I know that's why I'm like, don't worry about it. If you have time, cool. If not, don't worry. Just hang out in chat. We don't mind. Just know I'm watching you for your responses. Oh my goodness, I'm really sorry about the camera, guys. I'm gonna try not to move anymore. Well, anyways, so as I was saying before I get distracted like I always do, and I definitely, just backtracking to Steve one more time, I totally get that. And I think that, like, you, me, Val, Ozzy, like, all of us need to do a stream where it's like a spouse appreciation stream where we're just thanking them for allowing us to just sit here and, like, spend our time not with them. It's very nice of them to, like, because it does take a lot of time, and it takes time away from our spouses. So I totally get that. But anyways, back to what I was saying. So we were, they were talking. One, I was like, no, they're not talking about temperature. They're talking about angles. And then two, when they were spraying the aerosol, and they're like, Legal Vices kept saying, are they spraying air? What is that? And I'm like, yeah, duh. What? And then it occurred to me, I'm like, oh yeah, people, no, not everybody's gone to school for this. Like, in my mind, it was like instant. They pulled out the shot rods, and they, were doing the fact that Dick Poon. Oh, what's up? Steve is here.
Hold on a second. I'm working on it here. Hold on. All right, there we go. little delayed reaction. I'm in my comfy clothes.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Yeah, the wife says that she'll bring me dinner on my table. Isn't that sweet?
Oh, that's so sweet.
'Cause I've
It
got the
like
best wife.
oh, now I have to disagree with you. I think I have the best wife.
That's
So,
funny. Well, yes. So nice. Thank you for coming. It's like this is more my story. You've been talking like Sasquatches and stuff, and that's not my thing. So now you talking like forensics. That's all me, man.
yeah, I'm super I as we were watching trial today, it occurred to me that, this isn't an area that people study. They wouldn't understand, shot rods or bringing out an aerosol can because they put the shot rods and then they put a laser on the shot rod and then they'll spray the aerosol to really show the laser so you can see the trajectory of the bullet, which that was always fun because you stick the shot rod into the bullet hole. And so whatever angle the bullet is at, that's how you determine like
No,
where the shot came from.
yeah, that's excellent. There's and I'm very opinionated, as you well know,
Hmm.
and there's the whole realm of good police work.
Hmm.
Okay, and what you're talking about is good, solid police work, understanding the crime scene, recreating this crime scene. Okay, thumbs up to that. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm not. I'm all for good police work.
Oh, absolutely.
I
It's the shoddy
I
work.
hear dinner coming. It's
Ooh, what
okay. She can't see here.
what do you
She's
get?
shy. My wife.
Oh,
Hold on. Oh, look at this. Oh my goodness. Look at that.
oh wow. Oh
See, this is like
wow.
every day. You don't understand why I'm. They say a way to a
Wow.
man's heart is through his stomach.
You
Is that
are a
true for
lucky man.
women too?
Oh yeah, the story it's kind of funny that I knew the moment I was going to marry Mrs. Flux was it was the first night we had really even kind of like started talking like that we, maybe wanted to hook up. And we went drink for drink and the next morning I was so hungover I couldn't move and she came into my room with a peanut butter jelly sandwich and
Oh.
some Advil and I was like, I'm going to marry this woman.
Let me ask you: do you drive a Subaru?
No, I do not.
Okay. See, my wife's laughing at my stupid questions. I drive a Subaru, so I'm more of a lesbian than you.
That's very true.
You
And
go knick-knacking?
what?
See, come on, man. I got to come up with some other stereotype that you may play into. See, you break all the stereotypes.
No, that's not true. I play softball.
Is that a stereotype?
I played softball in high school. So
Oh.
there's one stereotype I fit.
Let me just tell you how good this is. Look at this.
Is that
This-
turkey or?
No, it's cod.
Oh,
Oh my goodness, this is good. Look at this. She puts this. Hey, wifey, what is on here? The chat wants to know. Oh, that is really good. Boy, I'm sorry here. You're
ooh.
gotcha. This is Steve at home.
Oh.
Well, you're
What
always at home, right? No, you've
Well,
got a real job. I know what it is.
yes. I have a real job, so I have to go to the office, but thankfully the office is like 10 minutes from the house, which could be good or bad, but
This is so good.
Is that rice and green beans you got too?
Yes, but man, this cod, this is the best cod I think I've. Hey, wifey, this is the best cod I've ever had.
Oh my
What is
God,
it?
guys,
Can
this
you
is why we
explain it?
love Steve.
Come here. I want to hear what it is.
Oh, it's
How do you make? What is
it's
this?
so simple. You just put olive oil on the pad and then salsa and a couple of teaspoons of mayonnaise, salt and pepper, and then you bake it for 415 minutes.
Do you hear that?
Yeah, that's not bad at all. That sounds really
Very
easy.
easy to make.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This is the best cod.
I want to try that. I'm going
So
to
say
try
it.
that.
Say it again for the chat. Say it up loud.
Well, so it's 400 Fahrenheit, yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then salsa, any salsa if you want. You can have like those big chunky stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, just quarter cup, and then depend if you have two fillets, just a quarter cup, and then a couple of teaspoons of mayonnaise, and then a
Ooh.
dash of lemon afterwards, and that's it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that for dinner tomorrow. That sounds great.
This is really good, wifey. It's perfect.
Oh my goodness.
This is the best cod I've ever had.
Wow. You are a lucky man.
I'm telling you, you don't know. I definitely am. But
Wow.
yes, thank you for the nice comments. Miss Gosney is very nice. And see, she lets me play. See, this is nice because she let me come on the stream. I said, because, we would have a sit down dinner.
Mhm.
Like, oh, would you like your dinner in your office while you do your stream?
Oh,
I
that
mean,
is so
that
sweet.
wonderful? I mean, there's a lot of women that would be like, not.
Come sit at the table. You can do that later. Yeah. But like, oh.
So she shares me with y'all. Although she's probably sick of me after 24 years. Heard your stories before, Gosney. But anyways, so forensics.
So yeah, for me, because I was like, it was just like I didn't even question it. I was like, oh yeah, of course they're talking about bullet trajectory. They're talking about, the angles and the degrees that the, gun was fired from.
Right.
And so but then, I saw in the
okay,
chat.
let's dissect this a little bit.
Mhm.
Okay. What you're talking about is dowels in fixed objects. Like if you have a gun shot, it goes through a window and there's a bullet hole in the window and then it goes into a wall. Those are the type of things that dowels are very good at. All right. What can be very tricky is when you assume particular positions based on shots to the body. Because the body is very dynamic. You can move, you can angles the way the shot. There's a completely variable gun. There's a completely variable body. You might be able to get something out of it, but you got to be very careful assuming that you can figure something out based on bullet trajectories through the body.
Oh yeah, I don't think you could get. You could get like an estimated degree, but I don't think you could get an accurate degree, especially with a shotgun. You pretty much
shotguns
just.
I'm talking about rifles and projectiles.
Because I think when Clarice was talking, she was talking about how they were the shots through the walls of the back of the dog kennel. And so I think that's the shot she was talking about.
Okay. Well, and that's a stationary object, so that's cool. And you can have a theory, like for example, this you could have a theory of trajectories on a body. And the way that you could testify to that would be this shot pattern on this body is consistent with the state's theory or the defense theory. Okay. You can testify to that. All right. But to say that this particular angle of shot on this body means that this particular thing happened, that goes too far. And this is the typical thing, is people go too far with these scientific things. And another one I would talk about is, so you've got, stippling and distances. So you can determine there's contact shots, there's close range shots, and then there's beyond 3 feet. Okay. So you can determine from stippling, meaning tattooing or bruising of the skin from gunpowder, and that's from the blast of the muzzle when the projectile comes out. Okay, that is good science. All right, so that is generally, they've studied this using basically animals like pigs, shooting into them at close range and pulling it out. So you can say, is it a contact shot or a close to contact shot within a 3 foot range and beyond a 3 foot range? Now, that also does not account for necessarily clothing, but you can make certain determinations about distance based on stippling. But there's, again, it's one of those, how far can you go with it and what does it say? The way that scientists, or the way the forensics should be characterizing their testimony, is this particular stippling pattern found on the body is consistent with a shot from beyond 3 feet. okay, or something
Mhm.
like that, right?
Mhm.
My big complaint is when people take science too far and say that science says for sure, beyond a reasonable doubt, this is
Mhm.
what happened. All right, very, very, very careful with the science, because science is like certain, right? Science is
Mhm.
fact. Science is what we know.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
when the prosecutor sees that, they're like, "Ooh, we know this guy did it." They want to take that weapon and use
Mhm.
it against citizens.
Well, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk about evidence, because I'm like, they, with one of those, I know you've been watching. How did you watch any of the trial today at all?
Some of it, I came in at lunch and then I came in after work.
Did
Um,
you see how they kept bringing in weapon after weapon? Oh,
very,
this weapon. They brought
very
in
bad.
at least, and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking from an evidentiary value, like point of view.
Mhm.
These have zero evidence. Like, there is no point other than to prove they were hunters. Like, is that what this evidence is supposed to show? Because if that evidence is supposed to show that he's a great hunt, or that he's a hunter, perfect, beautiful evidence for that. But when you're talking in context of a murder trial where this man is being charged with murder, what evidence, like what value do these weapons bring to this
Well,
case?
nothing. I mean, with Nick and I and Andrew were talking, and I think Ozzy was there.
Hmm.
No, it was criminally. What was the Sean?
Criminal, no. Why can't I think of Sean?
Potentially criminal.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah, so we were commenting on it. And the more that the state beats on these dead horses and drags out basically meaningless evidence, the
Mm-hmm.
more skeptical that we are that they have any case at all.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now it may be, okay, have not rested yet. It may be they're building all up to this big crescendo at the end where they're going to bring in the smoking gun.
Mm-hmm.
But I suspect, based on their opening statements, that their big smoking gun is that the AR-15 Blackout 300 shell casings
Mm-hmm.
that were found next to the body are a match to the shell casings found at the shooting range. All right?
Mm-hmm.
That does not prove, first of all, that is garbage science. They cannot do
See,
that.
and this is why I am so irritated, because I've spent the past. I didn't really realize that it's been 8 years since I've graduated college, and I could only find one of my hard drives that I went to school, but I really wanted to bring up my bullet analysis, because they had us do, we did analysis on cartridges as
Right.
well as bullets. And while we can determine with some degree of certainty this most likely came from this weapon, we were never, at least for me, I was never taught that this is 100% the same exact weapon.
Well,
This
and it's
bullet with
again,
a degree of certainty came from this
well,
weapon.
let's parse this. Okay.
Hmm.
Gunshot analysis is very important. All right.
Hmm.
And it adds something to, there's a lot that it adds to a case.
Hmm.
All right. Now, here's what you definitely can testify to. So the guy could definitely testify this is a 300 blackout cartridge, right?
Hmm.
The 300 blackout cartridges were found next to the body. And these were, I don't know, SSD or what is it, S&D, whatever the make is. All right.
Oh my God, we heard it so many
So many,
times today.
I don't know. And
I
then
can't.
this is the same make and brand and
Mhm.
caliber as were found back at the residence. All right.
Mhm.
The woman was killed with a 300 blackout round.
Mhm.
Okay. And we have 5 bullet wounds, and it is consistent with being fired from a semi-automatic 300 blackout caliber rifle. There is
Mhm.
a 300 blackout caliber rifle missing from the family residence. All right.
Mhm.
All of that, no problem. Now, here's the problem. they put the shell under the microscope. From what I've heard from the opening statements, they are saying that the ejected casing, that they can measure the striations based on the ejection pin, and say that that has a fingerprint like tool marking on the ejected casing, so that you can measure one casing against another and the marks on the ejected casing and say that these two casings were fired out of the same rifle. That they cannot do.
Yeah, I would agree 100% because I mean, just like a vehicle or like a tire tread, yes, it's unique to a maker, but it is not unique to a vehicle.
Now,
And that's
I'll
how.
put an exception to that, all right? And let me put a
Mhm.
qualifier, a little star on that. Again, it depends on what the forensics. There's something called accidentals.
Mhm.
Accidentals can have a
That's
major impact.
that's
And
the
so
exception, though.
that is the exception. But let's take your example about, with a reasonable degree of scientific certainty, this let's use a shoe matching because that's a better example. You have a shoe and the shoe has a cut down the center, and you lose a letter of a thing, and you have a footprint, and the footprint has a scratch on it, and it loses a letter in the bottom of the thing, all right? And you've
Mhm.
recovered the shoe, and you have a shoe print with an accidental, which is a loss of a thing that's a very unique type impression. Now you can't say 100% sure because you can't eliminate all other shoes of that make and size within the world.
Mhm.
But you can say with a reasonable degree of scientific certainty that this shoe made that impression. All right. I think that that's fair, but that has to do with specific accidentals that go to a particular recovered shoe print, I would say.
Mhm.
But even that, you got to be very careful on that, very careful. And the science is iffy on that. But let's just say that that is something that there's a little bit of a qualifier on what I'm saying with accidentals.
Mhm. I was looking through my last presentations to see if I got any if I had any pictures of the castings, because casting a shoe print is ridiculous, and
Well, and it's good
that
because if
itself
you, I mean,
is.
see, it's really good evidence, just as
Mhm.
a matter of evidence. If they say these shoe impressions were made by 8.5 size 8.5 vans of
Mhm.
this particular size, the defendant is seen wearing 8.5 size or vans,
Mhm.
or these were recovered from his home, and he wears size 8.5 vans.
Mhm.
That's pretty compelling evidence. That's compelling circumstantial evidence of guilt. Now, it's not slam dunk, but
Mhm.
see, this is the thing, because there's a lot of people that wear a size 8.5 vans, right?
Mhm.
So this is where it's a problem, because if that's all you have is this shoe matching thing, right? And the
Mhm.
scientist gets up there and says, these shoes, to the exclusion of all their shoes in the world, made this shoe impression.
Mhm.
And the killer made that shoe impression. All of a sudden, that guy's going to prison for the rest of his life, or maybe death, based on the statement that the shoes match. And
Mhm.
that they cannot say. That's why we have to be very, very careful with the words and the way these things are stated.
Mhm. I definitely agree. And one of the things too from the trial that I got was that there are a lot of shoe prints and they didn't do any castings. They didn't do any of the things that you needed to do to preserve a shoe print. And I found that to be kind of bad
Well, yeah, I
because.
mean, there's a lot of sloppy police work, and
Mhm.
just because the police are sloppy does not mean that this guy didn't do it. All right,
Mhm.
they may have some kind of evidence that ties him with the shooting that we have not yet seen or heard about.
Mhm.
But I'm very, very concerned in this case that
Mhm.
the only thing that they have is this shell casing matching.
Mhm.
Now, first of all, I don't think they can do it. All right. So appellate issue one is, if they testify to that, which they are going to do that, that's
Mhm.
appellate issue number one. All right. But the other issue is, even if that is the case, I don't know if you've heard the Bronca theory of guilt.
Oh, mm-mm.
Okay, well, let me paint the scenario, because there is a reasonable hypothesis here that makes more sense to me than the convoluted argument for guilt that the state is making.
Mm-hmm.
And that is somebody who had it in for Paul, waited out in the thing. He was carrying his AR-15 blackout rifle out to the thing with his mother. He gets ambushed by somebody with a 12-gauge shotgun who blows his head off. Mom is an incidental witness who becomes with screams, says, "Oh my God." The guy has got maybe a double barrel, unloads it, but doesn't have shells, or say he sees the AR. He picks up the AR from the family house that was on Paul,
Mm-hmm.
and shoots the mom down, and then leaves the thing in his car and never to be heard from again.
That is a very reasonable and plausible theory.
Very plausible.
I think that's,
in fact, I think that's more plausible than complicated. Like he goes there and then he goes to his mother's house and somewhere. How does he dispose of the weapons and the whole scenario?
You want to hear my theory?
Yeah.
It's actually even more simple than that.
Can you hold on a second? I got.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Guys, my theory, which I'll tell Steve when he comes back as well, my theory is even more simple than that. The same guy that he hired to try and kill him, he hired to kill his wife and child. How is that not the most reasonable Occam's razor, guys? Occam's razor. That is the theory with the least amount of assumptions is most likely the case. The least amount of assumptions. This guy was in some bad poo-poo. He was like, "Hey, Curtis," or whatever his cousin's name is. "Hey, bud, you gotta do these guys." And yes, really quick, I have a comment starred. If the shoe doesn't fit, you must acquit. I am getting so many OJ vibes here, guys. And at first, when this whole thing started, I really played out. I was like, "Oh yeah, OJ this, OJ," and I'm like, wow, actually this is a lot more like OJ than I think we realize. Because in my opinion, OJ hired somebody. In this case, my opinion, he hired somebody. And in both cases, I mean, the defense lawyers, I mean, we all heard from James from court today. Like, he said that the jury seems to be not liking good old Dick Poon so much, which I find to be, I don't know. We all like Dick Poon. Dick Poon the harpoon. That guy's crazy. Holy cow. Oh, there we go. Wait, where we go? Agreed. He either hired someone to kill them or at very least help. Exactly. Either he hired his cousin or he and his cousin. Like that theory seems to be so accurate. How? Again, unless the prosecution has something, "Oh, Brandon, let's go in the house." Why would you shoot them and hire a hit on yourself? That's actually a good question. Maybe he didn't kill them. See, now okay, that makes me think that he, like, maybe it was the hit on Paul, and then again, if it wasn't him and he didn't do it, my theory goes with Bronca's theory, is that someone had it out for the kid. He thought both the parents left and mom was home as a surprise. Oh,
yeah, I missed all your explanation.
Oh, my theory is the Occam's razor.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Same guy he hired to kill him, he hired to kill his wife. It's just, I mean, my whole thing is, if he did it, he didn't do it alone.
Well, okay, that could be, but what is the evidence that he did that?
See, and that's the thing. We don't have any evidence. We have
so
zero.
If you have no evidence that occurred, what's the proper verdict?
See, and that he's my whole thing is he's not guilty. There's not any way he's come close to the prosecution is gone. The minute the Dennis Fung not Dennis Fung. The other criminologist, Clarice, the criminologist in this case, the minute she said that the defense made her say it was reasonable for 2 shooters. Boom. Done.
Right.
Why is the rest of the case going on?
Well, I mean, because the state hasn't finished.
See, and that's
yeah,
the
I mean,
thing.
the thing is,
They have to have something damn good to.
my nose. I've done a lot of trials.
Mhm.
My nose is saying they got nothing.
See, and that's the thing. How could they have taken this to trial with nothing? I mean, other than yes,
well, I'll tell you why.
The phone call or the text that the wife sent, oh, my husband's up to something. Like, yes, all that's bad, but that does not make him guilty of murder.
Because
if they were getting a divorce, that does not make him guilty of murder.
Right. Well, there's a lot of politics involved. Prosecutor sees the guy is on his back, and they want to put him away. I mean, for political motives, and the elected official. Just I don't know, but I know certain elected officials that would do this. They tell their subordinates, "I want him charged," and so they get charged. And now he's charged, and now all of a sudden the guy says, "Well, I want a speedy trial." So now they have to prove their case.
Yeah.
And so they've just got a collection of innuendo and assumptions. And the elected, who is going to tell the elected prosecutors? The elected prosecutor says, "I don't care. You're on the case. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. You're going to do it." So now you got a bunch of prosecutors that got to go to trial and pretend like they've got something.
I mean, especially with all of his quote like connections to like drug ties and
he may be guilty of all that other stuff,
but that does not make him guilty of murder.
The question is, did he kill to kill your son and your wife?
That's what I'm saying. And even if they were going through issues like that, whether or not that man was crying for his wife. Ooh, don't die
on your stream. That would be an exciting thing.
That would be terrible. You would get my channel banned forever.
Would I? I know that was.
Yeah.
I'm getting too excited. I'm with you. I can't help it. You're gonna get me all flummoxed.
Oh, I'm getting y'all fluxed up.
Hey, look at all your nice people in chat. You've got some nice chatters. I see you got Bobby and Barbara.
Oh yeah, I love my chat. I even got Let's Go Brandon in the house tonight. Glitter fart.
I don't know, man. Change your handle. That is like
no. I love glitter. That's like the most ridiculous name. I love it.
It's a ridiculous name.
It's ridiculous, but that's what makes it beautiful. Because, in all fairness, in all actuality, like this is YouTube. It's not real life. While we try to be real life, it's not real life. It's ridiculous
all
sometimes.
I can imagine is like a unicorn in a rainbow setting with like glitter going out the back.
Oh, absolutely. It's just great. I love Glitter Fart's name. Don't ever
Ormond,
change
I don't know
bro.
Ormond, but I live in Ormond Beach, Florida.
Oh, nice.
So I saw Ormond. I'm born and raised right here in Ormond. Yes, that's a Rickenbacker 4003.
Nice. Yes, we are, but you know what I mean. Like this is real life, but this isn't real life. I mean, if this is real,
I mean, I don't know about it if it's not real life. I mean, I think it's a mistake to treat it as unimportant.
Oh no, no. It's definitely important, but it's not like I'm sitting down right in front of you, having a conversation. While we're also in this digital age.
But you're a real person, right? I'm not talking to Google.
I am. To my knowledge,
yeah, you are also a unicorn, though, aren't you?
I am. To my knowledge, I'm not
feels like to be a unicorn.
It's great. I call myself a battle corn because I'm a battle unicorn. I
That's
have all
cool.
my armor on, and my next tattoo, I want to get a unicorn with like, plated armor on it. I think that would look so cool. But I'm a nerd, so
That's cool, man. I love it.
um but no, I was saying, you know, if it is a higher thing, then
Well, but
there's
this is
no
why
way
there is
I'm
a drama to
convinced.
this that attracts people because of
Mhm,
all of the crime, the corruption that goes back 80 years or whatever,
mhm.
the seeing the mighty fall
Oh,
and all of the
absolutely.
conspiracy theories that we can weave. All right. But all of that aside, I'm looking at it as a criminal trial. I don't know anything about these people. I don't know anything about South Carolina politics.
Mhm.
All I'm observing is a prosecution that is making mountains out of molehills, is wasting
Absolutely.
everybody's time, and has
Mhm.
not shown me any direct evidence of his guilt. And
Well,
it seems to me that there's a very plausible theory that is left on the table unaddressed.
mhm. And the whole I it makes so much sense that someone would wait there for Paul, and I'm pretty sure that was one of the first things I'd said, but I walked it back to thinking I'm still up in the air because the prosecution hasn't proven shit.
Yeah, I mean, what
Like,
evidence can you point to that says that he did anything?
none. And like, there's nothing. I mean, other than the fact that he lied about being at the dog kennels, because I did hear that today, and I was wondering if that was an omission or if that was intentional. When he was talking to the detectives on the audio recording today, he said he was taking a nap, and then he called Maggie to let her know he was going to his mother's, and he had omitted the whole being at the dog kennels beforehand fact. And that's what I found to be
Yeah,
very.
see, and this is a problem about talking to the police is because you never know. You
Mhm,
don't know what's out there. You forget. We're
mhm,
frail. We don't remember things. And aha, you didn't remember something. And then it's like the state construes it as you're lying,
mhm.
and it's just a train wreck, And I just really, even the smartest people. This guy's a lawyer and a criminal
Mhm.
lawyer and all.
You wouldn't
And
remember the last time you saw your wife and kid?
yeah, I don't know. I'm just very Hey, mighty meat.
Hey,
Um,
what's up, mighty meat?
I'm just I don't know.
Well,
I'm just not
for
impressed with the state. I do like at the end of these live streams how I get sucked into this one. I don't know.
I know,
I'm
right?
really looking to do the Courtney Clenny trial. That's the one I want to do
That
because
one
that's
and Sarah Boone. I'm so mad. I want Sarah Boone to go to
which
trial
one's
because
Sarah Boone?
she's the suitcase murderer who
Oh,
murdered
I
her
can't do that
boyfriend
one.
with a
That's in my.
suit.
I
I
can't.
know. But that would be so cool if you got to do her.
Yeah,
She
but that's my
murdered her
jurisdiction.
boyfriend with a suitcase. Like,
Can't comment.
but anyways, I'm waiting for that one, but that one keeps getting postponed because the lawyer just came back from having COVID or something. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I want that one. And then the Courtney, like all these good ones. And we have to start with the Murdoch trial where they bring every single weapon that was on a hunting property. They brought every single weapon except the murder weapon.
Well, we don't know the murder weapon.
Well, they know it's a firearm.
Well, we know it's a 12 gauge shotgun and a 30-00 blackout.
Hmm. But like they brought every other weapon except for one of those.
Yeah, I have a big problem with that. I have a
That
big
I
problem with that. That is more prejudicial, and the fact that they're trying to insinuate. See, this is why they are not being. It's confusing to a jury to have all
Mhm,
this stuff and all this ammo and all these guns, and oh my God, and she was killed. If a jury, I don't know who this jury is,
mm-mm,
but they're playing a confusion game. Well, that is not the state's game. The state should be clear and direct and should
mhm.
not be trying to confusing. Every time they say, now that was 300 blackout, right? It's like
Yeah.
that
That
to me, it's like, what are you trying to do? You're insinuating something,
mhm,
and it's not right. It's not right what the state's doing. But just like his reactions. And then another thing they did, they kept playing up his reactions.
I and
How somebody reacts to that? How would anybody? I
that
don't know. there's a
How
million different reactions. People are different. People can react very differently to all sorts of things.
exactly? And this is a dude. I mean,
I'd
can
be
the
you'd be in
defense
shock.
can the defense be any more graphic with how they keep talking about Paul and how he died and where his brain ended up?
There's a strategy. The defense is here's two things the defense has done
Hmm.
that I can observe so far. One is that they have usually the state is playing up the gore, but for some reason, and I'm not sure what, but it'll come out at closing, the defense has agreed that playing up the gore angle of it is somehow going to play into their defense. All right. I don't know. It's probably, well, I don't know. We'll just leave that open to speculation, but that's
Well,
one thing.
and I think, I can't remember if it was Jeff or if it was Andrew who said like they're playing on the what father would do this to his son type of
Right.
aspect, which I mean,
That's a good question.
like if your kid killed somebody because his kid killed somebody, even if your kid killed somebody, could you do that to your kid?
No, no
And
way.
that's
No
yeah,
way. No
yeah.
way. And to
And
do, no way. And so that's the first thing. The second thing is this, I think the defense has consciously let the state be boring.
mhm.
All right, now I'll tell a little story, and people, when I come on these streams, everybody says, "Shut up, Gosney."
No, it's the reason we
I'm starting
love
to get a
you.
little. I'm gonna tap out pretty soon because people don't want to hear me anymore.
Oh no, no, you stay as long as you want. I love having you here, and you bring the actual, when
Yeah,
I have.
it's just I am actually kind of sensitive. See this little heart right here? It's sensitive.
Oh,
So
oh,
I open my heart to the world. And I know that's a mistake. Believe me, I
oh
am fully
no,
recognize that this is the
oh
internet.
no. The chat, the chat loves Steve. Steve, we came to the consensus that that we dub Steve like, Steve did it, and because
That's funny.
you are Steve has sucked the good and light and everything good out of every other Steve in the world. That's why every other Steve sucks, and that's why you're so awesome.
Well,
Is because you have the collective good and hope and joy of every other Steve in the world.
well, thank you. But I got so many things. I got so many things I'm doing. But let me just I was going to say,
Can
oh,
I
the
can I
other
ask you
thing
a
that
question as a defense attorney?
okay, let me write it down so I don't hold on a second. Go ahead.
If what okay, let me say when he gets acquitted for this.
Well, we haven't. The state hasn't finished yet, so let's not rush to judgment.
Okay. If and or when he gets acquitted, they can try him, like if they come back with evidence, they can try him for like let's say like conspiracy to hire, let's say if that happens, or is that too close to the realm of double jeopardy? That I'm not sure on,
Well,
because it's
nobody
not the
knows the
same
answer to that.
crime.
Okay, there's two aspects of that. Okay.
Hmm.
The first is there's a separate sovereign. So
Hmm.
theoretically, the feds could bring such a charge.
Hmm.
He could get acquitted of murder, and
Hmm.
then the feds could bring some sort of charge because under the separate sovereigns doctrine, which is a
Okay.
stupid ass doctrine as far as I'm concerned.
That's what they got Chauvin with, right?
Right?
Because
They're piling on,
yeah,
but
because like
there's two sovereigns here. There's a state of Florida, for example, and a state of or the federal government. So
mhm.
that's a ridiculous loophole in the law
Yeah,
that
I
should
think
be
that's
closed,
so dumb.
but that exists. I'll tell you, I had a case, for example, and this nobody cares about sex offenders, but I deal with them all the time. And even sex offenders deserve a fair trial and justice and the constitutional protection. All right. And this guy was, sex offenses, if you ever get it, it's like they have 500 counts of possession of child porn, right?
Hmm.
And so this guy pled guilty, got like 25 years in prison for, a boatload of sex porn stuff on his computer. All right, great. Then, like the next year, the federal government comes in, recharges him for exactly the same images. And the oh no, it was the other way around. The feds got him, And then the state turns around and he got 25 years from the feds. Then the
That's
state comes around and
interesting.
prosecutes him for exactly the same images, convicts him on exactly the same images, and they give him 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and
I
so I
didn't
mean,
know
and
they
I
could.
thought that again, but the law is separate sovereigns, and that was okay. Now I don't think it's okay. As a matter,
No.
it offends my sense of justice. Now I know
Mhm.
there's no question he did it, and blah 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 blah. But these child porn cases are crazy. I mean,
Mhm.
it's like nobody has one image of child porn.
Mm-mm.
They collect it all into a little hard disk and they stash it away, right? And it's like all of a sudden you've got 50,000 charges.
Mhm.
But the fact is that so he pleads and he goes to federal and then he goes off to federal prison and then they decide to recharge him so they can get another 5 years. I mean, it's like I don't know, but that's the first double jeopardy question. All right, is
Mhm.
separate sovereigns. The second double jeopardy question is whether the state could come back and let's say he's acquitted of murder,
Mhm.
first degree murder, firearm, right? He's
Mhm.
acquitted, not guilty. Could they then come back and recharge him? Let's assume then they find out information that he hired a hitman.
Mhm.
Could they Could they hire him with with a principal or solicitation to commit first degree murder firearm? All
Mhm.
right. So the answer to that is I don't know. Maybe the law of double jeopardy is so freaking convoluted that
Mhm.
nobody understands it. You and I would think, of course not. Double jeopardy should preclude that. All right.
Yeah.
However, I must say that the case law, there's a case, the leading case on this is called Blockburger,
Okay.
and the state, they just can't stand anybody getting away with anything, so they want to construe your rights as narrowly as they possibly can, because wouldn't it be terrible if somebody got away with something sometime? Rather than
Mhm.
it's when I believe in individual freedom and that rights should be broadly applied. And I'm like,
Mhm.
well, close enough. If he's acquitted, you shouldn't be kept serially charged for the same thing over and over again. It's the process is the punishment. So, but the answer is, at least in Florida, that the case of Blockburger is a federal case, a U.S. Supreme Court case, but it's very, I mean, it's so convoluted that nobody understands it. You know what that means? They can do it.
Mhm. Dang. See, and that's like I didn't know that. I knew that the feds could charge you separately from the state. I think that's whatever. Okay. I get the separate entities fine. But I didn't know that once convicted, you could also get charged again. That seems like complete and utter bullshit.
I agree. But
Wow.
but see, there's no constituency for being soft on crime, and it's so
Mhm.
easily demagogued. So let's assume I want to put some legislation up there as a state senator that we should do this. Oh, you're soft on crime, right? You see,
Mhm.
it's so easily demagogued that nothing gets done.
That's
And
that's
the
I
courts
mean,
don't want to make the law because the conservatives are like, we don't make law, right? And I don't know, it's a mess. I'm Glitter Fart says, can the state and can the county do it in the city? No, because the city and the county are subdivisions of the state government. So
mhm.
sovereign is, for instance, the state of South Carolina existed before the United States of America. You see, so the sovereignty of the state, and it's a federal system that we have. We have a collection of 50 states that are joined under a federal umbrella.
And that's why a lot of people also call the Civil War the War of the States and not the Civil War because it was the War of the States.
War between the states.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's I love this. We can talk this too. I love history. History is my
History is good.
Modern American military history is my maiden interest. If
Oh,
I was a history major in college.
nice. I really I did a lot of research into like World War II, especially my
Mhm.
family came over and
Oh, where are they
we
from?
Poland. We're
Oh,
Polish.
wow. Okay, yeah.
And we don't really have any of our history before our grandparent or
Do you have Jewish background?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so they were wiped out.
Yeah, well, that we think of. We can't really find anything, so
I had a
most
friend of mine.
likely.
I have a very a person that I admire so greatly,
Mhm.
who is and he was from former Yugoslavia. I forget which part of that now, but former Yugoslavia.
Mhm.
And and we were talking family history, and he's Jewish. I don't. We're talking, and I'm just me. I'm just sort of
Mhm.
living happy, right? And
Yeah.
then and we were talking family history with his wife, who's Christian. She's like I think she was Lutheran. Forget, but anyway, we were talking Christianity and family history and all this, and he's all quiet over there, and I'm like, well, what's your family background? He's very private,
Mhm.
and he's like, well, it stops in like Bulgaria.
Mhm.
It's like there's just everybody in his family was wiped out.
Wow,
Yeah, and it
that's
just it's horrific to think about.
yeah, we can I've only been able to track back as far as my great-grandparents coming over. Like that's pretty much their immigration documents. Anything beyond that in Poland, not only did they change their name, so I oh well I can't say my full last name. I don't want to dox myself, but
You want
uh
to flux yourself.
I don't want to flux myself.
Well,
My
your name is
family,
cool.
right? I like it.
It
My
is,
family
it is
used to
very
be as
catchy, and it's very you also.
right. It's very because like at first it was like, oh, Flux. It was my like alter ego name. Like if I was a like Dungeons and Dragons, any type of character I create, like Flux is my jam. Because it's like, it's very Flux is very fluxy, you know. It's very fluxy, and that's my style.
It's very
Um,
cool.
but my
Can I ask you another
family,
personal question?
yeah,
How tall are you?
I am 5'7". I
Okay.
used to be I tell everybody I'm 5'8" because at one point I was 5'8", and then I joined the military and my back got compressed. But, I'm a tall 5'7".
Okay, because I see the picture behind me with
Mhm.
the soldiers. Are those Polish soldiers?
Yeah, if I were to just hold on one second,
Those are
I'll
some
let
pretty
you
hunky looking soldiers, man. I might be flipping the
right?
other way.
You can't hear me or see me when or I couldn't hear you either, but yeah, I was surprised because I'm 5'7" and all of those guys are ginormous.
Yeah.
And those are the Poles.
I'll tell you, the Poles are amazing. So I'll
Uh,
tell you right now, I think Poland is preeminent. This
oh
is
my goodness.
they're leading Europe right now.
Mhm.
The cultural, I mean, some of my favorite music is coming out of Poland right now. There's a
It
there's a woman named Kinga Glick who plays bass, who
oh,
is phenomenal jazz bass player in the style of
nice.
Marcus Miller. Killer bass player, Kinga Glick.
There's this kid, I can't remember his name, but he plays the guitar and he plays like oh my god, he went on America's Got Talent. He didn't make it like he made it past the first round, but because he was Polish, obviously he didn't make it any further than that. But the way he played guitar, hold on, I gotta see if I can look this up because
Well,
Steve.
there's another band. There's another guy called
Mm-hmm.
Vanderson, who does electronic music from Poland, and he is
Oh,
super cool. I've got like a pile of CDs by Vanderson.
I mean, and
Um,
we were there in 2017
mhm.
and like they were having their first Pride festival. They were having like they're starting to really be an up and coming power, and I
Well,
had so much fun there.
they're very much leaders of Europe, and I
Hmm.
love like they're kicking Germany around.
Oh, absolutely, it's
It's like
great,
Germany is like, we're going to give reparations to the African country of that we possibly, and then the Poles are like, hey, how about some reparations this way? It's like,
right?
look next door. You know what you did to us? I love it. It's like, oh well, okay. I mean, of course, the Germans
Hmm.
are always guilted by that. Poor. I'd hate to be a young German. Actually, one of my closest friends is from Berlin. I'm going to go
Oh,
see her.
really?
Yes, very close friend, and very German, but Poland is. I'm just loving Poland. And
I
Catholic
wonder.
too. I got to say, being the Catholic that I am,
Oh my goodness, I got to see some cathedrals, and oh, like It really is beautiful. I have to show you this
Oh,
kid real
I've seen this
quick.
guy. I've seen this guy. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
I
he's real.
loved
He's from Poland too. See there, I'm telling you, Poland.
like just the way he plays. Hold on.
Yeah.
Like he is phenomenal. Hold on, let me get to a part where he's jamming.
Oh, I know that. I've seen this. Amazing.
I wish I could play like that.
Don't we all?
Or play it all. Yeah. I wish I could play like that. Or like I said, at all. Like
Look up
cow.
if you're, since you don't care about, because I got yelled at for copyright strikes. Who was it? I think it might have been Mighty Meat. Oh, it was Mighty Meat. How many copyright strikes did we get in one stream? It was like a world record, I think.
And here's the thing. So I don't get it because every once in a while, like I like to do reviews where I'll pull up like a YouTube channel that's smaller, or like there was this one night I pulled up Postmodern Jukebox and I just listened to all of Postmodern Jukebox and I did not hit one copyright strike.
Look up Kinga Glick. Kinga, like King A, then Glick is Glyk. And just go to her latest posting. Her latest posting on YouTube is just smoking. And I'll show and Ormond wants to see my babe, so how can I turn that down? Oh. Look at this thing. This is a beauty right here. Look at that.
Oh wow.
This is a Rickenbacker 4003 base CS, which means checkerboard, or CB checkerboard. See the checkerboard binding right there?
Mm-hmm.
And it's smooth as a baby's bottom. I'll tell you, this is a great bass. I love this thing. It's my latest instrument. I actually got this and the Martin from the Broncos, I should say, from teaching for the Broncos. This was my.
Oh, see, Mrs. Flux has a guitar at her grandparents' house that I just need to go get, and I want to teach myself guitar. And the first thing I'm going to do is pop up your tutorial on how to play Roxanne, and that's the first song I want to learn.
Hey, look at this baby.
Oh,
CF Martin. Ooh. This is top end. I've been working on my this. Right? No stairway. I've been working on that whole thing, and I love the whole. Right?
Oh.
I love that stuff. Anyway, this
is a great guitar. Acoustic guitar is just one of the most beautiful instruments. Yeah. Oh, it's really great.
I'm playing it, baby.
It's really. Hold on, I want to see this lady real quick. Let's see what she's got, because she seems kind of cool. I could get behind this. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna give her a subscribe.
Wait until she starts playing. Amazing. I mean, this girl knows what she's doing.
That is beautiful.
There's a really good, if you want to see her at her best, with a great band, and her father plays drums and xylophone, I think. Her album is called Happy Birthday Live. I think that's probably her best album. See, there it is right there. Happy Birthday Live. See it there? Yeah, that's a great album. A great album. Highly recommend that.
Oh, I like this.
actually have live videos of all this,
Oh yeah?
the whole
Oh,
concert.
neat. Have you ever heard of Postmodern Jukebox?
No.
They're a it's one of my favorite because they take like modern songs and they redo them to like old school music. And I want you to hear this one because this is one of my favorites. And I think you would like it. Hold on. I gotta find, oh, there it is. Because oh wait, no, that's not it. Cause I know you like Final
Yeah, Mighty
Countdown.
Meat. Look at see what Mighty Meat says.
47 times. Holy cow.
We just
Wow.
we went balls to the wall, man. We just said, okay, who cares? We're just playing here. We're going to listen to some music, right? We just went through it. That was a fun. I
Nice.
must say that was one of my favorite streams I've ever done.
See, and and this is why I'm so sad with YouTube doing this whole copyright thing is because I love music so much. I could just sit here and do reviews all day.
Well, yeah,
Like,
so could I. And here's the thing. They go and they post these promo videos to
mhm,
promote their music. And here we are saying, listen to this. This is great. And it's already up there, right?
mhm.
I mean, is there really that much money in YouTube postings? It's like we're
That's what
telling
I'm
people, go
saying.
buy this record. You know, I physically buy every CD, everything I own. I own thousands. I'm literally over 3,500 CDs.
Wow.
I've got this one here. This is my latest one.
Mhm.
Paris, Jonas Hellborg,
Ooh,
and Johnny Mathis. That was a garage sale special. I got
nice.
Trivium, which I've got to listen to yet. And then I've got
Ooh.
this one here, which is I haven't listened to. Yeah, 2 Trivium albums, which somebody said I needed to listen to Trivium, so I got these 2. But I bought
Nice.
things. See, I support my artists. Here's another one.
Oh, that's one reason why, I do love the whole oh,
POD. You ever heard of them?
I feel like I have, but
I went
maybe
so they're a
not.
Christian rap
Oh,
metal
yep.
kind of group.
Yep. I was gonna say if it's the Christian rap band, then yep.
But I went and saw them. They opened up for Jinjer when I went and saw Jinjer. You know, when I went
Oh wow.
concerting,
Yeah.
and they were just kicking ass, the smoking. And so I said, I got to get this record. And then this is cool. This is the Greg Billings band. Have you ever heard them?
Ooh. Mm-mm.
Well, this is really this is so obscure to anybody that doesn't live in Florida. This is the
Nice.
biggest band that never made it in the national stage. They were a local band. The band was called Stranger. And
Oh.
in the early 80s, you'd go see these guys at a local bar and you're like, why aren't these guys huge? You know? And they had their famous song is called Swamp Woman. And they used, and it's like, we're a Florida, they were just these down home country kind of guys. They're just laid back, really nice guys. And every song was just great, solid rock and roll. And they're like, we're just Florida music. And it was so much fun. And
Nice.
I've seen them, probably 100 times. And this is the lead singer and the bass player from Stranger. This was their last recording. They just retired. But yeah, you should look up Stranger Swamp Woman.
Hold on, I want to show you this video first. You have to tell me what you think.
This is so much fun. So you forget forensics. Who wants that boring forensic stuff? What is
Oh, come on. Forensics is fun too.
Oh,
Tell me.
yes, David Nelson. You are right. Put David Nelson up there. Listen to him. We got to write this down. I'm taking over this stream, Flux.
Nice. Well, I can't go super much longer because I do have a Mrs. Flux I need to tend to too.
Okay.
But we will go a bit longer.
All right. Swamp
you have
Woman
to
and I speak astronomy then.
You have to tell me what you think of this cover.
Okay.
Because I absolutely love the Final Countdown. It's one of my favorite songs. And then we're
leaving together.
Old school.
See, and this is what they do. I love it.
Farewell.
That's sexy to me.
Right?
Right?
And maybe
Oh, just wait for it, Steve. Just wait for it.
To Earth, who can tell? I guess there is no one to blame. We're leaving ground.
Hush up, Bobby Bologna.
Will things never be the same again.
Beautiful.
It's the final countdown.
Oh no, no.
I
Humorous
love
stuff.
this. That's not your jam?
No, actually, I hate the final countdown, but I much prefer this version than the real version. But
Right?
She's very seductive. I love that old school throwback thing. Love it.
Oh, yeah.
Classy.
This
And
whole
funny and good sense of
channel.
humor.
Oh yeah, they do a lot, especially I love that they use the stand-up bass so much because we need more of the stand-up
You seen my
bass.
son playing stand up on my channel?
I haven't. I need to look at that
Come on.
because
And by the way, I have heard Lennon Claypool Delirium. I listen to them a whole bunch. Love that band. Yeah, go to my. You want to see my son play some upload?
yeah.
Go
Hold on.
to Crime Law on Rumble. I'm not on YouTube. CrimeLaw.net.
I have never been what am I?
Just go search Google for CrimeLaw.net. That's all you need. Oh wait, no, it wouldn't be that. It would be Rumble.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, I've never been to Rumble on my desktop before.
Yeah, there you go. Now go. Gosney. Put Gosney in there. I don't know.
We'll do Gosney.
Yeah, there you go.
There you are.
Yeah. So go down a ways there. Oh, there he is. See there, my son plays jazz.
Nice.
Pretty good, huh?
Oh yeah. More people need to play the upright bass.
I know, it's a cool instrument.
It really is. And I give so much credit because there's no frets. How do you play with no frets? Dang, your kid's good.
I know, that guy can go. He's great. He's better than me. He's my gift to the world, this kid.
Dang.
Well, let's see. So what do we have to do? We've got Swamp Woman and I Speak Astronomy in that order.
Yeah. Hold on, let me pull this back up.
Mighty Meats is just happy that I'm ruining somebody else's copyright.
See, and here's the thing.
But see, this won't get struck, will it? I mean, that's my son playing. That's my video.
No, but here's the thing. I don't want to jinx it. But again, I've done certain reviews before with a lot of music and I've not hit Okay, Steve, you want to know the one person and the one song I have ever got copy struck on? The Bed Intruder song.
The who?
He's climbing in your windows. He's snatching your people up. You know, the guy, the meme guy.
No, I don't know. Don't play. I don't want to hear it. I insulate myself.
I'll show it to you or just this dude.
I've never heard of him.
Really? That was a big meme. That was the only time I ever got.
My life is not the same because I haven't heard this meme.
Don't look it up. You'll waste a brain cell. It's hilarious, but oh my goodness.
Yeah, science fiction is awesome, but look up. I'll show you Swamp Woman. Swamp Woman. No, swamp, not swap. Swamp.
Swap Woman.
Yeah, that's a little kinky for me. Swamp Woman.
Oh.
There it is. Yep. Go back to go to the live version.
This one?
Yeah, try that one. That's actually in a bar. This band was so great.
They got a good sound.
Oh, this isn't even go. Find a different one. Go back and let's hear. Like they have a music video to this. Go Swamp Woman Stranger. Like go put Stranger on the end of that. Stranger, yeah. Mix. Try. I don't know. Try that one.
Which one?
Let's try the top one. Yeah, try that. That might be. Yeah, this bit. Make it big.
That's what she said. Okay, we can turn this one up a little bit.
Up. Turn it up, baby. Turn it up.
It's another reason I wear braids. It's a lot easier to headbang with braids. Oh God, the 80s must have been so fun.
This is me, man. I'm telling you, this is right in Daytona Beach. That's a hotel right down the street from me. Meanest woman that I ever seen. That's why they call her Swamp Woman.
Oh, I like this. This is great.
Oh, hips, big old thighs. They even say she got alligator eyes.
I like the random ladies that they just have.
Yeah.
God, that's such great hair.
Yeah. Swamp Woman.
Do they still make? They don't. You said they don't still make music today.
No, well, it's a long story. This was the most successful band in Florida that never really hit the big time.
Oh.
It's cool, isn't it?
Oh, this is
Florida
great.
music. Florida music.
I really wish I could have lived through the 80s. With this hair, I should have been in the 80s.
He's getting with a 2-foot tongue.
I like that.
Isn't that great? Isn't that a great band? This band, I mean, you'd go see them, and like every song, you were like, "This is just great." Every song was great and fun, and the people were like, you were part of the band. I mean, there was a whole scene. I don't know. I'm just that was when I was growing up. That was some good stuff. And we used to go right down the street. They'd come and play on our local club, and you're like, why aren't these guys huge? And a lot of the bands like Cheap Trick and they're friends with
Cheap Trick.
Yeah, they opened for Cheap Trick. They played.
Nice.
In fact, Ron Zander, the singer there, knows them. Would sing on with Rob Zander played with this singer. The lead singer for AC/DC is a friends with the singer and played with. In fact, in their final concert, this one right here, which is Last Call, Greg Billings band, that is. he introduces the band. What's his name? Brian Johnson from AC/DC
Oh,
introduces the
nice.
band. In fact, they have a duet in one of their songs. I mean, they're very well respected, and they're just so much fun. So they've been around. They had a run for about 15 years in Central Florida, and they were just
Mhm.
like, we're a Florida band. Like there's a song called Okeechobee Whiskey that's just great, where they're like,
Nice.
we're just gonna live here in FLA, like we're gonna live in
Nice.
the sun and we're just happy. And they were just really just like kind of people wonder where I get this happy nature. Because I'm a Floridian, man. We're used to tourists. We want to welcome people and then go home back to New York.
Yep. Yep. See, and I feel like growing up as a Southern Californian, that's how we're all happy all the time. It's
Right.
always sunny. Why not be
Yeah, it's like
happy?
we want to go down to the fishing hole and go and swim in the springs, and that's like
Oh,
I'm just
well,
happy.
no, with SoCal, it's more like let's go to the beach, man, and Disneyland.
Disneyland. I had annual tickets, man. Just go to Disney. We'll
Oh,
want to go to Disney the weekend. We'll go there, pack a lunch.
Oh, and the best part was I was homeschooled with annual passes, so my mom let us go during the school week a lot.
Very cool.
But
Well, we
so
got one more song. I don't know what your schedule is. I don't want to take you away from your family.
I do have to wrap it up soon, but I wanted to ask you, we know what you like for music. What about movies?
I have odd musical movie tastes, but like Excalibur, Conan the Barbarian, Risky Business. I like
Nice.
Stanley Kubrick.
Are you
All
a
these
music?
are all this one that rack on this rack here. That is all movies. This rack here is all music videos.
Wow.
Yeah, we got to do
That's
one more
great.
song, Flux. You promised.
Okay. Yes. What is this other
And
song?
Orman wants it. Orman knows what it is, baby. Okay, look up
What is it?
Jinjer live in Melbourne. Jinjer, Jinjer. I hijacked the stream. Taste it. Music is my
Jinjer and where?
Jinjer. Look up live in Melbourne. There's a concert. I want you to skip ahead to about 20 minutes. There's a song called I Speak Astronomy. And live,
Is
it took me. It took,
or
Go
Uh,
YouTube, Jinjer, Jinjer, live in Melbourne.
which one?
Live in Melbourne. That's the full concert, 1 hour and 15 minutes there. Click on that, top one.
Okay.
And then skip ahead to about 20 minutes. We'll go down and see the songs there. Go to I Speak Astronomy.
Okay.
There it is. That one there. This, before stop it for a second, I'll tell you the setup.
Okay.
This is when I first heard this band, I didn't like them.
Okay.
And it's because I don't like kind of screaming vocals.
Oh, real quick. Since this is our last song and we're gonna wrap it up. I mean,
What's
Hey,
up?
to bring
Valhalla, man, you know it.
Valhalla in.
What's going on, y'all?
What's up?
Oh,
This is the first time Val and I have ever actually been on a stream together or met in real life.
yeah.
Valhalla,
What's up, Val?
we gotta try to do it again tonight. We gonna try again tonight? I got some info from Rumble.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
All right. After Flux kicks us off, we'll
Yeah. I
I'll
need
try
a
to
shower.
live stream again. I'm trying to
need a
learn how to
shower.
live stream. You're
Yeah,
just so-
me too. No, I just the same time zone. It's 8:30. You got to get ready for bed, and
You got
the whole
8:30?
night. Huh?
8:30.
You got to get ready to bed.
Who goes to bed
Oh.
at 8:30?
Well, no, you got to shower and you got to do all the things before bed, and then by the time you get into bed, it's 10:30.
It takes
Yeah,
you 2
that's
hours to get
secrets
ready
of
for
women
bed.
problems. We just
This
Walk
doesn't just
over.
happen overnight, man. These
love it.
braids take a lot of work. It's a lot of hair.
I like the braids.
It's a lot. And I have to because I have a Jufro and if
The Jew-
oh man.
This
if I
isn't true. Hold on.
See,
I've
I am so
seen-
clueless that you are Jewish. I mean, it's like I'm like, this is the thing. I remember my friend. It's something there was some guy who's his name was something like Shlomo Epstein, and I was talking to him, and I was like, oh, you're Jewish,
Mhm.
I'm like completely close, but I have a lot of good friends that are Jewish. So
I'm not Jewish by practice or anything. I'm just Jewish by blood, which is cool
okay,
because it's
okay,
That
yeah,
means your
it's
mom's Jewish, right?
just the bloodline Jewish part, not the
fair enough, fair
religious
enough. Well, that okay,
practicing.
well that's all right too. But
That means your mom's Jewish, right?
uh, both of my parents, I think.
Both.
Yeah.
Because
Well, and
it
I'm pretty
passes through the mother's
it
line,
passes
right?
through the mother's blood. Yeah.
So like
It's
all
a
your kids will be Jewish.
yeah, yeah.
theoretically, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
if
how
you
all
have
that works.
kids. I don't know. What
It's actually a bloodline. It's Judaism, it's like for people who are Jewish, it's the bloodline that's traced back all the way back to Abraham. That's what actual like if someone says, "Oh yeah, I'm a Jew," that's tech, but there's also the religious practice of being a Jew as well. So
Well, I know they're not exactly kicking down the doors of people to recruit new recruits. It's like
we'll
they're
see,
like,
and
"You
that's
really want to be Jewish?"
right.
well, and that's the thing because it is mostly like it's a bloodline. So if you don't have, that bloodline, it's technically like, well, why do you? I mean,
See, you are a unicorn. You know that because now you're saying you're a secular Jew. You're a Jewish. Let me see, a
I'm
secular Jewish
technically,
lesbian who
I'm
is a conservative.
technically, I'm technically a born again Jewish lesbian. Uh,
She's the chosen
all of
one.
yeah.
But you see, this
She's
is
the
why
chosen
you are so cool because you are a free thinker. You are
Yeah.
living. You are living in freedom. You are following your path, and you are the dream. You are what people should do. It's like this is what I want to do. This is who I am, and you are free, and you're living in a free country. God bless you.
Oh, thank you, man. I
Still free-
appreciate it. I
still
feel
free
like
now.
I'm a walking oxymoron sometimes, though.
But who cares? So am I. Welcome
I'm
to
a,
the
Oh,
club.
I'm a walking hyperbole. It's okay.
It's oh, what's up? Legal Vice in the house. Flux the Jewish princess.
Oh,
I love me Flux. Love
I'm
me.
the Jewish warrior princess. Flux
I
the
want
Jewish.
Juna?
We'll make a cartoon.
Like Xena, but Jewish.
Yeah.
Juna.
So instead of Xena, the like Amazon warrior or whatever, it's gonna be Flux the Jewish princess warrior.
Glitter fart is like an enigma to me. I don't. It's like there's something that I haven't tuned in exactly what's going on with glitter fart. So
It's
Glitter
best not
fart.
to ask these questions.
Glitter fart is special. They're because like I'm not sure if it's like a he or a she, and I think it's a he.
I think it's a dude. I'm pretty sure.
I think it's a dude, but like sometimes his comments are off the wall and sometimes his comments are super based, and I have no idea, but I love Glitter Fart.
an
He makes-
enigma.
Yeah.
Believe me, a very memorable name. Let's say that.
Exactly. And
It's
I
been
even
great.
have a picture that every time, oh, he is a dude, confirmed.
You believe
Well,
this? You believe
well,
what you
I
read on
was
the
gonna
internet?
say, like, are you a biological dude or
Yeah.
are you
Hey,
a
bigot, you calm down. Don't ask those questions.
no? But there's actually, I have a picture from when I was stationed in, or when I was out in Poland. There was a shoe store called Fart, FART, and I have a picture just standing in front of it, like, yep, this is a real thing.
Were the
So
shoes
I
in
have
your
to
shoe?
post that because every time I see Glitter Fart's name, I'm like, or every time I see that picture, I'm like, huh, Glitter
The
Fart.
chat is just endlessly entertaining to me. I mean, I love it. Like, here's Bobby. He's here. I love you too. You see, now Bobby is almost like, is that a female or a male? I
Bobby's
was
a dude.
guessing male, but now I'm questioning everything.
Bobby's a dude and he likes sticks.
Sticks, as in,
He likes
What?
printing sticks, 3D printing sticks.
oh, okay. See, this is the thing. Now, your Flux has got me in my head turned around so far. I don't know what she's talking. Is it like sticks? Is it band? Is it sex? What are we talking about here?
See, and that's the thing. There are so many things now with double entendres. I'm like, wait, is that a sex thing? And they're like, no. And then they'll say something and I'm like, well, is that a sex thing?
I know.
I
I
have
don't
no
know.
idea
People
these
always want to talk sex, but it's
Fish.
an interesting topic for sure. But it's
Yeah.
not the only topic.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's
So
see
let me
this
give you. I'll give
song.
you a brief explanation here. So I
Okay.
didn't like it when I first saw him. I was like, I don't like him because I don't like the vocals, right?
hmm
But I was like, but I know because the band, the musicianship of the band is out of this world. And it's very unusual and very different and very unique. And so I'm like, so I knew that there was something there I'd like. So I put some hard listening in. Of course, then I'm like, well, I'm going to tune into their live show because usually you can get it when you see them live. And this is funny because this is like the only band where I remember the exact moment that I was like, I get it and I love it. And it was during I Speak Astronomy, right after there's a spot in this where it drops out and breaks and she comes back in, you'll see. And I was like, this is great. And I like it's like my favorite band right now. This is my favorite band. I like everything that they do because once I tuned into what they were. So I'm not sure if I'm kind of interested because you're just going to see this song like straight out, having had the setup of the whole concert and the other stuff, right? Will you have the same reaction or are you like, okay, I need to put in some more listening time, right? All right. But this is a little different. This is open your mind. Let's all meditate.
I'm very open-minded, especially when it comes to music. So I'm excited for this.
I'm gonna give it a chance.
My favorite band right now is Jinjer. I've seen it twice. Turn it up. You got to crank this, baby. I'm going out, Joe.
Headphone users be warned.
Determines me, magic inside of us. These astronomies and signals amplified. The tide does increase to turn off the my guide. Release your energy. This space foam is so delicious. Dark mirror is so divine. Tell me why you are so suspicious. When you say that holes in my eyes. In my eyes.
Oh my God.
My whole lips racing your remedies and this forming clay. If there is a lot of there, it's just a guessing in a spaceship, observing the array. His space foam is so delicious. Dark mirror is so divine. Tell me why you were so fucking suspicious. When you see black holes in my eye. Don't discontinue the suspicion. Let's talk about the horizon of my eyes. Come and join me in my rotation. Dream on me, held by no bars. Our reunion was set the celestial. In every moment, stars got us baptized.
Holy cow. Wow.
Wait,
Wow,
you gotta wait
wow.
for it though. I love it because they're not just one note.
Oh, wow.
Wave your hands from the parallel universe, hidden in a folded palm. After 20 light years, my research must be ended somehow.
God, I love the double bass drum so much.
My research must be ended somehow.
Her vocal range is insane.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
So, what's your impression, Flux?
Wow, wow, wow.
I dig it.
That's one of my new favorite songs.
I
I'm
dig
it.
gonna say that's going in my playlist for like when I run, because that's the kind of music like I listen to when I work out and stuff. Because really get into it, like, "Arr!" And holy shit, that was amazing.
And I'm telling you, like, once you tune into them, and I'm glad you love it because once you tune into them, I'm telling you, every song they do is great.
Did she get her start on America's Got Talent? Was
No.
that her?
No, they struggled. They played to nobody for years.
Oh,
This band
wow.
is from Ukraine. In fact,
Oh, wow, because I heard the accent.
they're from the Donbass, which is occupied by Russia.
Really?
They have a
Yeah.
really good song called Home Back, which is great.
Oh.
They
Home
said it
Back,
wrong.
there's a
Supposed to be
song
back
called
home.
Wallflowers about introverts that it's just great. And they've got their lyrics are poetry. I mean,
Oh, wow.
this
Yeah.
the singer is brilliant with lyrics. That's when I love this song because she's very about the duality of women
Mhm.
and the feminine and the power of the feminine.
Wow.
And
That's one of my new favorite songs.
check out
Holy
Jinjer.
cow.
Just listen to that whole concert and then just go at it, man. It's
Oh,
pretty good.
absolutely. That is absolutely
Oh, you
gorgeous.
see, you made my day. I should get to share a good band. Isn't that like the greatest thing? Sharing a good band with somebody.
Oh,
It's pretty
wow.
good. It's almost
I
as
mean-
good as showing somebody a new choke. It's pretty
A
good.
new what?
Oh,
New
what?
Choke?
Choke?
Jiu-jitsu? Choke somebody out?
Oh, like a new move. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
But
got- you
wow,
gotta
that
know
was
jiu-jitsu.
great.
You got to. I don't know.
That was amazing.
How
Well,
awesome.
thank you, Flux. See there, I mean, you made my day, and I not only got to take over your show, we got away from forensics, which is boring.
Steve invited me on Flux's channel for the first time ever.
But I have pictures.
What
I
do you
have
wanna do with-
pictures that are better than what the prosecution does.
You know, when I was in the military, I did take a 40-hour evidence collection course where we did latent prints and computer forensics collection and
See,
such.
And it's funny because I'm just a student. And remember when he was yelling at the forensics lady for not having a scale? Look what it's in all my crime scene like all my crime scene photos. Look at all these scales. How long
Scales everywhere.
How long did the defense yell at the lady for not having scales? And I'm like, that is the basic thing that you do when like photographing evidence at a crime scene.
Well, and
Because-
same thing with like cordoning off the crime scene with tape, and then you keep
Yeah.
a log of who goes in and out of the tape. There's somebody
Mhm.
that's in charge of maintaining the scene, and then you don't just have people stomping all over the place.
And the fact that like I could not understand for the life of me how they had they're like, oh yeah, this shoe print. They're like, oh well, we put it up against this for measurement because we had this measured. And I'm just like, I'm a student, and
Slap
my
me.
analysis and like my final investigations were so much better.
She said that she didn't even know the one spot whether or not it was a footprint.
And that's what's crazy. Like, I understand.
That's your specialty, lady. You didn't,
like-
you didn't bother to look. You didn't bother to check.
But you preserve the crime. You cordon it off, and there's certain basic police procedures. Now the thing is that okay, you could attack police all day, doesn't mean he's not guilty. All right,
Mhm.
that's the thing. So
Right.
and they may find they may slop over everything else, but then there's that killer piece of evidence that they do find and they do preserve that's going to nail him. That all exists. But
I'm waiting for it.
I'm waiting
What's-
for it too. Yeah.
What's your opinion on the fact that the ATV was parked next to Maggie's body, and there was like the material on it that it was blood, but they never tested it to determine whether it was her blood, animal blood, or whatever? I think that's dumb.
Well, see, here's the problem with the whole thing
Uh-huh.
is that it's the state's burden to prove their case.
Mhm.
And everybody is completely confused about what they're saying happened.
Well, that's my I don't understand how the state brought this case against a dude this powerful.
That's what I'm saying.
Because it's a political enemy. He's a
Us?
political enemy, and they want to get him. And the elected prosecutor probably just told him, prosecute the case. Can you charge him? Then charge him. And then the guy gets charged, and then he's like, well, I want a speedy trial. And now they're left with nothing. And there it is.
It
I
seems
don't-
like go ahead, Flux. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I don't understand how this passed a grand jury.
have
I don't
no idea.
understand how this passed. Like, again, I'm waiting for the literal smoking gun,
Something
like something that
that even looks like a gun.
I mean anything, because at this point,
What's
He-
BJJ?
Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It's the
Oh.
martial arts I was talking about.
Okay.
nice. I don't understand, because again, like for me, I've studied this. I got my degree in criminal justice. Like, I used to have my degree on the wall, but I'm not that much of a nerd, so I took it down.
But you looked because you thought it was still there.
I thought it was still there. Like, I don't understand how this went to a trial. As a prosecutor, you have as
It's
a
political
prosecutor,
prosecution.
how
It's a
do you look
politi-
at this and say, like, I do not have the facts to support this? Like, I thought that was their job, to be like, look, I really can't prove this.
Yeah,
So-
but when the elected official says, do it, and you're a good little soldier, you do it. And then when the defense calls you on it, then the prosecutor says, okay, you prosecute it. And now he's got it. Now what do? Now you're the prosecutor and you've got this case. You just throw everything up there and you make mountains out of molehills. And
And you would I don't see that as being a good political move, especially when it's televised to the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
And YouTube has
Well, there's a lot of- I mean,
500,000 people watching it.
when we're covering it on Ricada and stuff, the comments, like I'm speaking just like I'm speaking with you right now, and I'm throwing up all these because I don't know any of these people. I don't know South Carolina. I don't know any of this stuff. I'm just looking at it as an outsider.
Right.
But then some of the comments are like, I live in South Carolina and he did it. These is a bad family and they're all guilty and I don't care what you say, right? I mean, so it's like, and they know they live next to them. They're neighbors. So I mean, These people, they've been in power because the family got in power in 1920.
Yeah, it's like
See, and this is the
112
thing.
years or
I
something
don't
crazy.
understand how it can even be tried in the same, like,
I agree.
I mean, not that you'd have to move out of state for something like that, but damn near close because
Maybe.
roots.
Well, just
Like,
the
we're
other
talking
side of the
about
state, or move
roots.
somewhere. You know, I'm very. We have a. Well, let's see. I see. I always, what I'm doing with current cases, I gotta stop myself because I gotta be very careful what I can talk about. Let me think about it for a second. Let me just say that we are dealing with a media case right now. I'm involved in a big media case.
Mhm.
All right, and I am always perplexed about the big reluctance of the judges to move the case. I mean, it's like,
Is it?
I mean, it's like pulling teeth. They just don't want to do it. And I'm like, why not? What case is going to be moved?
That seems like a really simple way to preserve
Yes.
justice.
The defense wants to move it, then move it.
Do you think it has to do with, like, no, I want to try this case. It happened in my jurisdiction, so I'm gonna, like, is it?
Some
You
level
think
of arrogance.
Well, we could even, like, not only is it, we're just talking about moving it for jury pool reasons. We're talking about moving it within the circuit, same judge, same prosecutor, just different county.
Yeah, but see, at this point, like, I mean, it's the same thing with, we'll talk about Brian Koberger. Where is he gonna go to get a fair trial where
Nowhere.
someone hasn't heard of it?
Nowhere.
Well, and see,
Where is he gonna go?
Idaho is very small town, the whole state really, and that's like they're finding out. In fact, I haven't talked to Megan Fox lately. I got to ask her what she just got back from vacation.
Yeah,
she's following. She and I are following that case pretty close, and my question, because the way I understand it, this defense attorney that's been appointed, it's got all kinds of connections all over. But any case that comes up there, they're going to have those kind of connections. This is like small town.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I want to hear. I don't know the facts on it enough, but except that I heard that there's like one. See, this is a problem with the death penalty up there. They want to bring a death penalty case. There's one person in the whole state that does the death penalty. Well, what happens when that person's disqualified? They got nobody that can defend it.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they going to get a death qualified defense attorney when you haven't had a death case in 20 years?
The whole state has one.
It's been very low. There's been very few death cases in, I'm just saying, like, I'm giving you an outside example to show you, because in order to be qualified for a death case, you have to sit second chair on a previous death case. So it's kind of like transmitted, right? So when I did my death case in appeals, it was the Colley case. I was second chair in that case. And so that one was argued before the Florida Supreme Court, and I was second chair. Well, now I'm qualified to do criminal death appeals. And so I've got one coming up. I just found out in April. Yeah. So I'm going to be down for basically 2 months. I'm going to be out because when a death case hits your desk, you basically don't do anything but that for 2 months.
Yeah,
I've got to block out those 2 months, which sucks.
As you rightfully should, though.
But I was gonna say, I mean, we all would expect, especially the great Steve Goss.
Somebody's life is
but
literally
it's
on the
tough
line.
because it's like, but see, when you're in a small jurisdiction, you've only got one or two people that know how to do it, and there's no basis for pollinating. And it's also one of the reasons why it's so expensive, because you've got the best people doing this. And is that really what we want to spend our best minds doing?
Well,
why careful? Norman, what are you saying careful for? I'm just talking. It's all right. All's good. Everybody's okay. We're all in the safe zone.
Although,
go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, this was totally off topic, but
okay. Well, I was going to say then, if there is a death penalty, though, then absolutely we need to spend some of the top people on that, right? Mm-hmm. I understand your point, Steve. And yeah, but
people wonder why it's so expensive. I mean, it's basically 4 times as expensive to execute somebody as it is to put them in life in prison.
That's so crazy.
And I don't understand that, because like life, you have to provide like shelter, food, health expenses, all that. Like, how is it more expensive to kill somebody? I don't get it.
Shelters have been there for decades, sometimes way longer than a couple decades.
But that's why, like, I don't get how it's more expensive to.
Well, number one is you have to house them in a single cell.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So you're cutting the holding capacity down by at least half.
And second is the complexity of a death case is such that only the best attorneys are involved. I mean, the level of competence, when I go to these death penalty conferences and deal with the attorneys, the power, the brain trust, the level of competence and the training that we do is really quite impressive. I mean, I must say that, you know, people, I remember when they did the Cruz case down in Miami.
Yeah.
I knew that defense team. And I remember people were, when I was.
I loved that defense attorney.
Oh, they got in trouble though.
Yeah, well, you know, the thing is that people were talking, oh, he's going to get the death penalty. Oh, it's a slam dunk and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, maybe. But I was like, I know what this defense team is doing. And I know that they're top. They're excellent. They're trained. They know what they're doing. They have a strategy. They're conscious. And the judge was not. The judge was outclassed. And I think the prosecution team were both outclassed by the defense. Now, that doesn't. It ultimately was the jury that made the decision, and it was 3 for life, and it just takes 1 for life in order to get life. But the amount of I know what those attorneys have done as far as training goes, and effort and commitment and brain power. Those attorneys, now they made some missteps, and I know that it's a controversial case, but I'm just saying that to get that quality of attorney is not cheap. All right. And nor should it be. I mean, do you want to have the cheapest, the dumb lawyers? Oh, just, you know, let the dumb person represent the person. Then, you know, we have the highest exoneration rate of any state in the country.
Yeah, you're like at 33% or something.
Right. For every person that's executed, for every 3 people executed in Florida, we have 1 person that's exonerated off death row.
That's a terrible record.
It is a terrible record.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's horrible. I mean, I really need, I've got, amongst my other projects, one of the things I need to do is do a whole seminar on the death penalty for people.
You're adding more projects already?
Got them going out as far as the eye can see, you know?
I love it.
All right, guys, I do have to wrap it up because I do have to, you know,
hey,
start
Valhalla,
getting ready.
I'm going to email you with some, we'll try again. You got a couple more, like got another half hour, we can try it again?
Yes. I need to take a shower though, because I've been rolling around.
I'll give you 30 minutes then. We'll do it 30 minutes out.
Okay. Perfect.
All right.
Can I for a second though, after this, y'all go check out Mighty Meat. Go over there. He's doing something on Eliza Blue. So he's live right now, and I will plug that link in the chat.
Hold on. Yeah. How many subscribers do you need to dump into people?
I thought it was 1,000. I think you need to get monetized.
Damn it.
That's Discord. Why is that? That's not the right app.
Everybody go over to Mighty Meat because they're doing something.
Hey, what man, thank you to Steven and to Daniel, by the way. Flux selling books, man.
Oh, what's up? Did you just get... Did I just sell 2 books?
Maybe.
You're 3
What's
ahead
up,
of
guys?
me.
Buy Steve's book, guys. Ideas and Answers in Law. My copy is downstairs because that's where I read it. I need to bring it up here. So, there it is.
Oh, there it is. -1, baby.
-1. I've got the lowest amount of books sold.
Buy Steve's book because that means I've already outsold Valhalla, which that's
if you double Valhalla, you'd be -2.
Oh, yeah, no, I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to do that.
This is Valhalla might want one.
I've already bought one.
We'll see what happens.
What is AP? I've bought one, but I can't read anymore. Why can't you read anymore?
Too drunk? I've been there,
I was going to say, did your eyes... Mine have gotten so much worse. Like, from the time when I was 25 to now, which I'm 31, it's like just... It's depressing. Getting old sucks.
It does. It's not pleasant.
Better the alternative, though.
Yes, it is.
Getting younger?
I don't think that's the alternative to getting old.
What's the
dying young, Flux? Dying young.
Okay. Okay. My brain literally went to the reverse, like Benjamin Button. I'm like,
Brad Pitt was hot though. I don't understand.
Oh my goodness! Did you see the the movie with it was Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum, uh Daniel Radcliffe, and Brad Pitt did a cameo. It was hilarious. It was like Sandra Bullock's retirement movie where
Sounds
she's
good.
like, "Oh, it was one of the best movies that's come out since 2020."
I do like me
Like
some Sandra Bullock.
it's something like some lost island or secrets or so. It's a really funny movie. And Daniel Radcliffe, like, he's a phenomenal actor. He really grew out of Harry Potter and grew into like a really great actor.
I did see him in something that I enjoyed, but I can't remember what it was or anything.
He's been in a lot of stuff recently. Didn't he play Weird Al too? I think he played Weird Al.
That's pretty funny, actually.
Which is awesome.
That is pretty awesome.
Oh Lord. All right. So Mighty Meat has something go on. So go over to Mighty Meats. What else you got, or what do you have got going on, Steve? Anything?
I'm trying to learn to live stream, and Valhalla's going to try to help me again.
Ooh.
Right. We're going to do it. Give it another shot in about a half hour, 45 minutes or so. Take a shower. I'm swinging and I'm missing. So we're working on it. It's Rumble.
He'll get you going. He'll get you going. He'll take care of you all good.
Vices. The thing is that I'm supposed to interview Vices on Friday, but I think I'm just going to go on the Grift Fest, his Grift Fest on Friday.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he's going to be dead on Friday.
I don't know, but we'll figure it out. But I need to get I've got so many cool guests that you guys, when I get live stream going, you're just going to love it. You're going to want to be on it and participate and question. I've got you don't know who I've got in the background ready to come on my live stream if I can ever figure out how to do it.
Oh,
we've tried.
We're going to give it another shot. I'll share with you my emails from Rumble and StreamYard, and we'll figure out what I'm missing. All right.
And I have to I don't go on Rumble as often as I should because I hate the platform. It's not as user friendly as I want it to be, but they're getting better. And so I'm still throwing my money at them. I just throw my money at them and keep them in the background, but I got to pull them up. So I'll get onto that because I do like the music videos.
Look at that plugging me away. He's such a nice guy. See, he's
trying, man.
Man, he plugs everybody. He's good.
He's that soft teddy bear type. We know.
Hey, don't you tell people that.
I know. He looks tough and mean, but we know the secret.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate everybody that came and hung out tonight. I know we did talk about forensics for a while. I feel like we only took like a half-hour music break, which I think is good. You get a little business.
If I'm out of line, you smack me around.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Guys, tune in. I don't know. Next time, I'll probably do a stream on Thursday, or my stream schedule isn't so great. But guys, you all have a great night. Thanks for hanging out. And remember, be excellent to each other.
Be offensive.